Welcome everyone to the first Dead Fred Redemption podcast. Myself, John, and we've got Hamish here as well. How you doing?
Hello.
Cool. So we'll be talking through all things Red Dead Redemption. And it's going to be a weekly podcast going forward. So it's going to come out every Friday, and we're going to be discussing all things Red Dead Redemption. There may be a few changes in the future, but for the first few, we're really going to be talking about everything Red Dead. So Hamish, how are we today? All good?
Yeah, good. Looking forward to this. Love talking about Red Dead. Should be fun.
I haven't been planning it for a while as well. We've had a few subs and obviously talking about it as well. So first of all, thank you for everyone with your voting and all your comments and discussions. So it's always great to hear. And obviously, if you want to have any comments or any suggestions for us in the upcoming podcast, just let us know. It'd be good to know. But the plan today is we're really just going to be talking about the game itself. So we've got quite an open topic of what we're going to be discussing around the game itself, how we got into it, a little bit of our backgrounds, get to know us a little bit more as well, and then just a little bit how we play, and some more assessment on characters as well. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Cool. So Hamish, I'll let you kick off. So Red Dead, we know we're both love it, but what got you into it, and why are you still playing it 3 years later?
I think Rockstar they make my perfect games. It feels like they're made for me. I love how heavy the characters feel, like really weighty. I love the open world nature of it all. I got really into GTA 4, which was probably the first game I ever completed when I was like a young teenager. And then Red Dead Redemption 1 came out. That blew my mind. That was my favorite game for years until Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, and that just superseded it even more. So it still blows my mind how beautiful it is. Like no other game, even on PS5 now or Xbox Series X, none of them come close to this still. Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. What about you? How did you get into it?
Unfortunately. So I've got everything to thank for you. So initially I did play Red Dead 1. So you're talking Xbox 360. A long time ago, I got Undead Nightmare because everyone said it was great. So I got Undead Nightmare. Didn't play Red Dead 1 because I was really into zombie games, that sort of stuff. And loved Undead Nightmare, where it was the best game. And then I thought, well, I'll play Red Dead 1. And then I utterly hated it. I hated it. I couldn't play it whatsoever. I had no interest. I just killed loads of zombies. I'd gone through all that rigmarole. And then they asked me to talk about cattle and riding horses. Like, no. Under Nightmare, I want to be like killing everyone. We're running around. No, I need to be. And I never played it again. Never picked it up. So about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, you kept, so obviously for a couple of years, so you kept been going on about, you need to play it. It's the greatest game ever. It's the greatest game. And a year ago, I finally buckled. I attempted it, and I just couldn't get through chapter 1. I really struggled.
Remember how much you hated it. You were just telling me you couldn't stand it.
It was on Game
Pass.
Pass. It was on Game Pass. It was free, and I downloaded it twice, and I thought, no, I'm not interested. It's rubbish. It's too long. I don't want to be walking through snow. I'm not interested. I finally got past chapter 1, got to chapter 2, and then realised what I've been missing. So I'm 2 years behind the curve. I definitely agree with you. I mean, obviously you've got a lot of knowledge of it, and you know a lot about characters, a lot around the differences between the games, and yet to complete Red Dead 1. I know you have, but I'm yet to complete it. So I've got a lot to catch up on here. So talking about play styles, I know that obviously we play both very different. I'm a low on a douche, where you're more of a high on a guy. So talk to us a little bit. So it's a Friday night, walking through Valentine. What do you want me to do?
I'm greeting everyone. I'm petting my horse. I'm feeding my horse. I'm having a lovely bath, a haircut. I'm chilling in Valentine. I love it. I'll literally, I will slow down and walk through each town I go through. I'll be polite. I'll hitch my horse every time. I'm not going to abandon it in the middle of the street, even though I'm going to go to a mission. I'm hitching it. I'm treating my horse with respect. I'm doing all that stuff. I love it. I love like really.
Do you brush it?
What's that?
Do you brush your horse?
Yeah, all the time. I couldn't believe last week we were talking, you didn't even know you could brush it while you were riding the horse.
What? No, never done it before. Never done it.
Ah, you poor horses.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like, I'm motivated that way. That's, the story and just that, like, living it all. Whereas you're very different that way, aren't you?
Yeah, very different mentally, yeah. I think from myself, I think I would like nothing more than to blow up Valentine. Personally, I hate it. I think it's my very turn on. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying that. I just don't like it. I just don't like Valentine. I know it's the first town you go to. I know there's so much in there, but I just don't like it. Don't like it. And it's much. It's just really painful. I know. I don't know why, but I love Strawberry. I don't know. Everyone in Strawberry is weird. That's why I like them.
Okay.
Obviously, the guy who's hiding in the toilet. It's more weird stuff in Strawberry. It's loads of weird stuff. Everyone's a bit strange. Yeah, I just actually prefer it. But I think for myself, like I could play significantly different. So if it's literally just playing, running through Valentine, throwing dynamite, shooting everyone, antagonising, and then just going out, the blaze of glory with 500 bounty every time I run through a town. It's just completely different, isn't it? I think it's coming from my background of like where I haven't played, Red Dead and saw more MMO games where it's more open world, playing less of them. I think where it's more of a fast pace. I've come from like the COD background, it's that sort of game where it's you die, you move on, you get back up, you go get another kill. Yeah, Red Dead's not like that. No, it's supposed to be more immersed, real experience.
Yeah, it's almost like you play this game like in an arcade style, even though it's very much not an arcade game. Whereas I play it almost like a movie, like There Will Be Blood is one of my favourite films, which is like one of the slowest paced films, and I play it like that. Whereas we're very opposite in that way.
Yeah. I think it's good because you balance out. So I think, and obviously one of the purposes of doing the channel is because just the love for Red Dead. So a lot of the videos that we put on are mainly just either the funnies or little short videos or just quirks, just stuff that we enjoy and just stuff that we work through. And I think you can probably see going forward in some of the videos, you'll realise which one's mine and which one's yours, especially if you see the honor level. So I've never been. There may be a few times where I've gone just above a half good honor, but the majority of the time it's either 0 or a third down.
See, that's the thing. It's like I've completed this game probably 10 times now.
Yeah.
I got it in day and release, and every year that is the game I've most played. But still, I've tried going dishonorable, and that guy who finds you in Valentine at the start of the game and he runs away, falls off the cliff. I can't bring myself to kick him down. Every time I mean to, I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do that to that poor guy. Whereas you, I don't think you've ever helped him up, have you?
I've never helped him up. I've seen the video to help him up. I've never helped him up, no.
It's horrible.
No. If I could push him off, I would.
No.
That's just how my brain works. Not only would I want to stamp on his hand, I wouldn't personally push him off. I just enjoy it. It's just a bit. It's just a bit crazy. You can go a bit crazy on it. And obviously, it's Western. It's gunslingers. You're shooting everyone, and
I mean, back then everyone was a bit of a psycho, weren't they?
Introduction, Michael Bell. Yeah. I think it's. I just enjoy the fact you can sort of. We both play GTA, and some of our videos we've got in GTA as well. And I cannot get into that game. And I think I would enjoy that more because it's fast paced, it's smash and grab, guns, cars, racing around. I think a deep part inside of me wants to be honourable. I just can't do it.
Talking about GTA 5, like, I can't stand the 3 character switching. And I was obsessed. When Rockstar first released the Sunset in the Red Dead style on Twitter, I lost my mind. That was like 2 or 3 years out from release, and they posted nothing for months after that. And then it was the trailer where they showed 7 men riding horses. You didn't know who any of them were. You didn't see any of their faces, and it was amazing. It looked amazing, but everyone assumed, we're going to play as 7 different cowboys. It's going to be like Magnificent 7. I am now, and I was then, so relieved that we got a whole massive epic of just like a 1 character study, well, 1.5 character study. Mm-hmm. Just really so we can get invested in 1 character instead of being split between 3 different characters that are only half developed, if that.
Yeah.
Uh,
I agree. I think obviously I wasn't involved. At that point, I wasn't really that invested into it. I wasn't aware, so obviously I wasn't hyped for it. Which the more I thought about it, the more I feel more disappointed. I wish I would have been. I wish I'd have gone back to it. I wish I'd have been involved in it. Where you live for the moment, but where you was playing a bit more. So, but you're right. I think that character switching and going to that GTA model of switching here, switching there, and I think we both know that Red Dead 3, if and when it comes out, it's going to be probably Sadie or someone else. You're going to be mixing between three characters. I just don't enjoy it. Like you said, being that one character throughout.
Yeah, and I feel it's frustrating because GTA 4 did it perfect. You played as Nico Bellic for like 30 hours. You really got invested in that one character. You saw it from beginning to end. And then in the DLCs, you played as the two other characters who intertwined with all their stories. That was great. You got invested in each one separately. Whereas this, you spend a couple hours with one, 10 minutes with another, switching constantly. And sometimes you don't even control when you switch to them. It's just not a nice pace to play. Whereas Red Dead, it's just all Arthur until
consistency.
Yeah.
All Arthur until the great ending.
Yes.
And if you're listening to this, come on, you know what's going to happen. Cue the cough. Come on. It was 2018 it came out, wasn't it? So it's, you should have completed it by now. If you haven't and you were the loser like me last year, then you need to really get into it because we're going to be talking about a lot of spoilers probably coming out. Yeah. That's it, yeah. Don't worry, the cure for it now. He wouldn't have died now, but anyway. I ruined it anyway.
That was the thing though. Like when it first came out, the Google search term for when was the cure for TB, like, it was one of the biggest searches on Google. It's amazing.
Oh man, imagine it was like 1902 and 1905. I know, obviously, it's just hilarious, isn't it? Oh, heartbreaking. Linking into characters, right? So I know that you can't talk about anything about Red Dead without talking about Arthur. So yes. I know you said originally your initial thoughts were you wasn't actually impressed, was you?
No, because especially like GTA 4, you have this like lovely like immigrant guy going in like fish out of water kind of experience, and then you had John who was very much
don't say family man.
yeah. He was like an anti-hero, but very pure. Like his motivation was clear. He wanted to save his family. He was pressured into killing his old friends, but his old friends were, the bad guys. Whereas with Arthur, all the way through the trailers, he is just doing crime. He's threatening kids at their father's funeral. It's as much as that's iconic now. It's an amazing scene now. I'll put your mum in black again, or whatever he says.
Yeah.
But when you didn't know him, it's just all you see is him doing these heights where he's just beating the crap out of people in trains, robbing them. It's all he's motivated by is robbing people. It's like, I'm not looking forward to playing as you. But that's only the first quarter of him, first quarter of his arc, and then things change, and the character really grows, and you do see that redemption, which is amazing.
You're really well played through. So get to chapter 6, and then you give all the money back to the people when you get that option. So you get to the lady and the son.
Yes.
You give the money back. You donated it. You don't even take the money, do you?
No, it's such a good feeling as well. You feel it. And the way Arthur apologises to that woman, breaks your heart. Whereas, did you ever give the money back?
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't even know he apologised. No, I'm joking. Of course I know he apologised. I've seen your video. I've never taken it, and I never would. That's it. A Lone Ranger. That's how it is. But I think, so characters, obviously, linking back to Arthur, right, so obviously initially wasn't a big fan, how long did it take you to turn your mind and think of, because I'm assuming he's your best character, your favourite character, yeah? Yeah. I'm assuming he's a majority of most, right?
Yeah, he's yours as well, isn't
he? Yeah, I would say, yeah, I really enjoy him. Yeah. I think the recent... No, go on.
When I first started playing, because I downloaded the game and I set my alarm for 4 a.m. and I had work at 8 a.m. I played for like 3.5 hours. But literally in that span, I was already convinced that I liked him, and then that only grew over the next like 70 hours through that story. Yeah. What did you think of the character when you?
So I hated chapter 1. So as I said already, it took me maybe 4 attempts to actually find the complete chapter 1 to get to chapter 2. And every time I know you was bashing over the head saying, you need to complete it.
Yeah.
I think I like the fact, I think it got to like sort of chapter 3, I started enjoying him. I think the voice actor is so good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's just the best voice, and every time you're talking to the horse, it's just hilarious. The boy, the voice actor was impeccable. It was so good. But recently, and I know I'm going to be probably not controversial, but I think it's just, I really start to like John. And I don't know why recently. I think it's I'm playing more of John. So obviously with the complete, obviously when you get to after the epilogue, and I think recently I've just been playing more as John. So I've got saves which are just Arthur, just to look at the difference. But I think I'm just playing more, and I just quite like him.
It's so interesting because coming from Red Dead Redemption 1, John was my favorite. Like, that game was my favorite ever, and John was my favorite ever. It broke my heart what happened to him at the end. And coming to Red Dead 2, I was like, why are you making me play as this douchebag who's horrible to everyone? I want to play as John. He's in the game. You're throwing him in the trailers, and you're not letting me play as my favorite character ever. And then to go from that to Arthur dies, and I'm playing as John again, and I don't want to play as John. Like, he becomes a disappointment. Is insane. It's crazy how well they made you care for Arthur. And then through the epilogue, John grows again, but it doesn't.
Not the same.
It's not the same. No, maybe that's just because the epilogue's 10 hours, whereas you've had 60 hours with Arthur. Maybe it's just that. But
do you rate the epilogue then? What do you think of the epilogue?
I think it's rushed.
Yeah,
it's
a shame.
If I could have many wishes of the things to do differently with Red Dead, especially post content, I wish they would have released epilogues as like DLC. I would have happily. I feel that 60 hours with Arthur's enough for the price you pay for it, and then spend another 6 months on the prologue and make it the epilogue, and just refine it a bit, because some of the story bits are a bit off for me. The missions, I feel, get a bit worse. It doesn't seem as well planned out.
Part one was just really long, and it wasn't, but it just really felt it, and it just felt unnecessary. It's because I'm pretty sure in chapter.
Oh, go on.
No, I was just thinking chapter 1 in Red Dead 1, you're doing similar stuff.
Yeah.
Aren't you in a farm? Or whenever the chapters after you get shot, or whether you're at a farm again, you're learning how to do it, and it's like, well, do this in Red Dead 1. So why am I doing this? Just think I understand that it had to be him back from 0, but don't know. But you are right. Chapter 2, it just goes from 0 to 100. All of a sudden, he's doing this, he's doing that. Yeah, I didn't really feel there was much to it, which was really frustrating.
I appreciate what they were trying to do with, especially part 1 of the epilogue, where it's almost it's making you feel the monotony of his life and how he's not happy. He misses the outlaw life. I feel like it could have been done better. It didn't need to be as long as it was. I don't think we needed to put together 100 different fences. A bit
of the cows, something like that.
Yeah. I think mine and milk and the cows are quite like that. But racing Jack was fun. And again, I let Jack win the race every single time. You never would have, would you?
No, you can't get him off.
Oh my God.
No, I'd never let him win. No, you need to. He's going to outlive you, so he'll be fine. Don't worry about it. If I've just ruined Red Dead 1 and for you as well, I'm sorry. You probably should know this anyway. I just feel that it was back to chapter 1 again. So part 1 was back to chapter 1. It was you've gone from a million miles in chapter 6. You go really fast. loads of stuff is changing back to the slowness, and it's
And
it's
that's the
difficult.
thing, the weight behind it wasn't there. Like chapter one, everyone's in desperation mode. Like it is survival. So even though it's a slow pace, there's that tension. Whereas when you're John, you're just playing that farm. It's like this could be his
It's all
life.
slow, but no, yeah, it's nothing without them. Yeah.
There's no end outcome really. So I'm just working up to maybe buy a house, which I like for his character art, but for the gameplay, maybe it's not as fun. It's not as interesting. It it could have been done better, is all I think. So if they just spent a few more months on that, I think that would have been better.
If they'd had it, so it ended at chapter 6, how would you play the open world? That's the only problem with it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But just superimposing. You could have been Micah. That would be so weird. But just imposing John, they had to do something. So I get there was.
But even if it was just like an abbreviated version of the epilogue chapter 1.
Yeah. I just feel like with I don't know. I just feel there wasn't a connection between both. And chapter 2 was just so part 2 of the epilogue was just really weird. You're building a house, you then coming back, you're getting married, then all of a sudden you're killing guns, like you're killing loads of like gangs.
Yeah. I really didn't.
Wasn't together.
I didn't like the Pike's Basin mission. Like that is a huge like first mission in one of the first early missions in Red Dead Redemption 1. And it's amazing. And to go back to it is really weird, making John revisit these places because
this first mission in Red Dead Online, isn't it? First one.
Yeah, well that's fine, but it's weird to have John do it when he's going to do it. In the game, like a few months' time, when like Red Dead Redemption 1 is based, like it's a bit odd.
I suppose I mentioned Red Dead Online. Do we discuss it a bit? What
do you think of Red Dead Online?
I quite like the story mode. I quite like the story. I haven't been able to get into it personally. I think I'm just too immersed in the story. I really love. I just love I'm a completionist. I like to complete it. So I said to you, like the first time I played it, I wanted to complete it. I think 100% number of times now, and every time you find different scenes or different videos, and I just think I haven't really got in that mindset of playing it, and every time I have, it just seems a bit. I don't know. I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan. I think I need to spend more time playing it. Really, and I know that a lot of people are really frustrated with the online. They absolutely love it. They don't really want to play the story mode, but I just think it's just not for me. It's just not for me.
It just seems like the biggest wasted opportunity.
Yeah.
They could do so much with that. And instead they just focus on GTA 5, which I understand it sold like 160 million units so far. And they just brought out, that's another concerning thing, they've just brought out GTA Plus. Have you heard about this?
No.
It's a subscription to GTA Online, so you pay £6 a month and you get money and cars and guns every month.
It's never going to be a Red Dead 3. Let's just put that to it. That's never going to happen.
Well, we'll probably be very old by that point. About PS7 or something. But you know that all the next story mode games, they're not going to let us just buy what we want through in-game currency. They're going to make us have to pay with real world money. Microtransactions are going to be crazy next door, I think.
And you can see that with GTA, can't you? You can see that already, microtransactions. You can see that's going on, and you see that right away.
And the thing, they're looking at that and they're like, a large amount of our player base love the online and spend a crap ton of money on that. But we've got this massive hardcore fan base on the stories. Why wouldn't we make money off microtransactions there as well?
Yeah.
I feel like this could be Red Dead Redemption 2 might be the last game where you pay it and you've got the complete game. I can see it as that's the last time we get that, which is a shame.
I do think they'll remake Red Dead 1. I know a little bit off topic. I can see that coming.
They better.
But the problem is, if it's anything like the GTAs, there's no point. I've got it on 360 already, and the HD version's absolutely fine. If it's just going to be sharpening it up and making it HD, I've got that. There's no reason for me to. And I don't have a choice.
Why would they remake New Austin and nearly map out all of Mexico as you should? Why would they do that and not just? I know it's me just saying, "Oh, just add the missions," but I've done a lot of the work there, and it's Red Dead Redemption 1's not on PC. Apparently, the code to the original Red Dead Redemption is awful. Like that's why they haven't ported it about because it's just very much broken. Like it was in development hell for years and years and years. Um, a funny tidbit, like when the PS3 was first revealed, they had like a montage of games in development, and I think it was called Rockstar Western Game. It was just a very short clip of like a really basic armadillo was in it, and that was like 2005 or six.
My favourite town. My second favourite town, so I'm gonna.
It's a great town. It's a shame. It's a shame you don't get to see it alive in Red Dead Redemption 2.
No.
Because I was really looking forward to seeing the sheriff. He was such a cool character in Red Dead 1.
Yeah, so he was. I replayed Undead Nightmare recently as well. So I recently completed it, and I think it's replayed it. And yeah, the sheriff, you deal with a lot of them, didn't you? You meet him a couple of times in there as well. Seems like he's quite a big character.
Yes, yeah, he is. Yeah, he really helps you attack Fort Mercer. That's weird. Like the first section of Red Dead Redemption 1, you're almost just recruiting a like gang for yourself to attack the fort. It's pretty cool. Even though that is another thing I do think about how Red Dead Redemption 1's characters are really dated now.
Yeah,
it's super exaggerated. I do feel if they was to pull it over to the new, like the current gen Red Dead Redemption 2 engine, they'd have to really change the character a little because the characters would be a bit weird. Like Seth is so out of this world, and the drug dealer, I can't remember his name now, the fat guy. He sells the miracle tonics. Again, really.
Yeah.
I don't know. You'd have to.
I think ultimately it's not going to go into. I think and we think the whole people who play Red Dead 2 know that when they remake Red Dead 1, it's just going to be a HD version of the existing disc. It won't be rebit into Red Dead 2. I think we need to be.
Why?
Don't take any hope. They're not going to say, here's a DLC, there's Red Dead 1, there's $44.99, I'll be taking that. Whatever we say, it's not going to happen. So,
it breaks my heart.
Yeah, I think it does. But I think we've all got to realise that silver lining is not happening. And we're all going to pay the £20, whatever it is, or $20, whatever it is, and we're all going to realise, I've got this version already because I've got an Xbox 360, H version of it already, and it's already HD. I've literally bought the same game. Everyone's going to realise that.
Yeah. Well, that's a GTA trilogy.
It is. And I think even when we played it, it's no different. No different. If anything, it's worse.
It's worse. Yeah, it's worse.
The video of the car shaking. I think we're coming up a little bit off topic of Red Dead 2, but I think it's good just to know a little bit about the background of Red Dead. I think it's not just a game that's 3 years old. It's massive. I think, it's, like I said for yourself, it's your greatest game. You love it. It's your favourite game. I think the emergence you get with it, and coming back to characters, I think, Arthur is just a fantastic character. I think it's built amazing. Yeah, even with John, I don't think he's, like you said, he's not really displayed that well in it. If they was to remake Red Dead 1, he would be incredible. In the Red Dead 2 engine, it would be amazing. I think people would realise he's a great character.
Yeah, and his best character development is near the end of Red Dead 1, when he gets his farm back, his ranch back. It's him trying to reconnect with Jack and Abigail. It's amazing. Yeah.
And your third character going for the top 3, so you got Arthur, you got John, who else you got? And don't just go for an obvious Dutch. Come on, I know what you do. You just go for an obvious.
Dutch is such an interesting character. We're going to dedicate a whole episode to him, sure.
Of course.
Yeah. He's so fascinating, and his voice actor again is like Roger Clark's amazing as
amazing
Arthur, but was it Benjamin Davis as the voice actor for Dutch. Incredible. He was amazing in Red Dead 1, and in Red Dead 1 he's barely in it. He's maybe in it 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah,
but it leaves such an impact, and then to have him throughout the whole game, pretty much in Red Dead 2, is such a treat. He's amazing. What would you say?
I never want to say Micah. I know everyone would expect the way I've discussed around how I play would assume that Micah would be my favourite character. Up there. It's difficult. I think it's really difficult. I love the Strange Man. Absolutely, that fascinates me. I know he doesn't even really appear in Red Dead 2. Only snippets. I really like that.
Yeah.
I like the fact he's really there. And I don't know. It'd be difficult to say. It'd be difficult.
I do like Charles as well. He's a great character.
I'll go with Uncle because nobody likes him. Just nobody likes him. He constantly goes on the Battle and Bago. I'll go with Uncle instead. And I guarantee by the next podcast I'll change it.
Yeah.
And I guarantee by the next one I'll realise that John I actually really hate and I'm fed up with playing him. I want to go back to play Arthur. Or
this is the thing. All the characters, especially in the camp, are so deep. You can find an abundance of like history with all of it. Like a few weeks ago, I was playing and I found a letter at Michael Bell's tent, and it was a letter from his brother. And his brother sounds like a scumbag, and he was, threatening to kill Micah.
Yeah.
I've played for 3 years, and I've never seen that.
Yeah.
And then you look at Bill, and he's like a dumbass in Red Dead Redemption 1, and Red Dead Redemption 2, they treat him like that. But again, you read his letters at his camp, and he's like a tortured soul. Like when he was like fighting in the Civil War, and it seems like he might have been a homosexual, and he was a bit tortured by that. And again, just really fascinating.
I think that's what they've done, and I think I know they're saying they're not doing updates, but I guarantee the videos that we see, the little bit of information you see every so often, I really don't think it was there before. And like you said, there's little letters, there's little things dropping in. You can't miss them all. You can't miss them all. And I get it, the more you play it, the more you realise there's little letters, there's little bits of information, there's little bits, but you're riding around and you see a random burial site, you see a random body with a letter on it. I know that wasn't there before. Perhaps you're blindsiding yourself knowing that it wasn't there, but it definitely wasn't. Definitely wasn't. But we can all pray for an update. We can all pray for a DLC, which will never happen. And I think we need to realise that. Realise that it isn't. It's a sinking ship.
I feel like there's not going to be an update. There's no way they're going to give us anything for free now.
There's no DLC. Let's just be clear.
I can understand that because for £50, £60, or $80 in America, whatever, it was worth the money. Yeah. Like that was worth every penny. But why would they not just repackage it, add 60 frames a second, maybe a little bit of ray tracing shadows, just like what they've done to GTA 5? We can barely tell the difference and charge us £70 again. As much as it's not worth it, I will still buy that again.
I think everyone will. Yeah. Everyone in the Red Dead community will. I think we can have a choice, do we?
There is no choice.
No. We can all pray and always really beg to say, can we please have it in the Red Dead 2 engine? And if it was, I can guarantee we would go nuts. I can guarantee it because you're so excited. But there's no hidden team. There's no team currently working on doing it. There's no team developing that. It's just so.
It better not be Grove Street Games, the ones that made the GTA trilogy. Oh my god.
I think it will be. I think that someone's going to put the disc into Red Dead 1 and say, come on, let's make it HD. And let's even go at 4K, go on, let's chuck it in there. We're going out. Let's sell it out. Good for business. I think we all really need to know that.
I just don't understand, because before Red Dead Redemption 2, Rockstar was still broken up into different teams. Like the team that made Red Dead Redemption 1 was Rockstar San Diego, and they were actually a Capcom team at first when they were making Red Dead Revolver. Then Capcom ditched the game and said this ain't any good. Rockstar bought the rights to the game and the developer, and then turned them into Rockstar San Diego. So but they had loads of different teams making all different games, like a team for GTA 4, a team, for Midnight, the racing game they made. They did all this stuff, but then for Red Dead Redemption 2, they combined the whole of Rockstar into one. And it seems like they're continuing to do that for GTA 6. It just seems like we're going to get maybe one game out of them every 10 years now, which is a real shame.
And if that would then, GTA is the cash cow.
Well,
So why would they want to go and play Red Dead? Why would they want to go?
Yeah,
No, it's great.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that's
it'd
one.
be
We've got Bully first. We've got Bully remake. We've got, is it Mafia? There's loads of remakes. Max Payne. There's loads of remakes in that.
yeah,
Whether they're from the same teams, whether they are, whether they're not, I just feel weird.
They're sitting on such good IP. Like Max Payne 3 was insanely good. As much as it was different to Max Payne 1 and 2, it was still such a good third-person shooter. And we're probably not going to get another one. Or if we do, it's going to be a long time. LA Noire, that was incredible.
Yeah.
Like, so different to any other game. That was even slower paced than Red Dead Redemption, if you believe that. But again, they're just sitting on all this IP, and yeah, it's a shame. But getting back to it,
I think circulating back to it, I think it's no, go on, what you say?
I was just going to go on to some of our missions, our favourite missions. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think so. Circulating back and coming back to it, I think thinking about sort of like top missions. I think obviously we are going to have episodes around story missions, side missions. There's a number of, I personally would say, are my favourite missions. But I think if we're looking at top missions, are you more of a character base, or you prefer like a stranger missions? What do you think?
I do love the resolution missions, like the end of chapter missions, like when you break through Braithwaite Manor and burn that down. That's such an incredible mission. I love that mission. It's probably my favourite mission of the game.
I prefer strangers. I definitely prefer strangers.
The stranger missions are so less restrictive, which is much better.
I love the story. I do love the story, and I think all details, and you will run through it. But I just think with the stranger missions, you can add your own touch to it. You haven't got to be really, like you said before, use that specific gun, get this specific person.
That is it. They're so restrictive. Like, I can't stand, like, I'm super controlled with what my character wears, of what gun they use. That's what drove me mad with GTA 5. Is I'll dress Franklin in a cool outfit and then Michael in a cool outfit, and they'll switch me to Trevor, and when I switch back, they're wearing something totally different, like a button-up shirt and tracksuit bottoms, and I lose my mind over it. And then Red Dead doesn't do that, luckily, but they do. All I want is a shotgun and a revolver. That's all I want. And yet they constantly give me a sniper rifle and a rifle. I don't want that. All I want is the shotgun and a revolver. All I want in a game.
I'm not a shotgun man. Not a shotgun man.
No, you're not. But for me, they give me a sniper and a rifle. I go back to my horse. I switch, and as soon as I've done that, Dutch gets shot in the head, and I've failed the mission. It's so frustrating. But I mean,
you've got to use Mausers. Mausers are the best.
Mausers are great. That's so great.
Golden Mausers. I think, what can you go wrong?
But the thing the best thing about the game is the random encounters outside of any type of structured mission. There's most games, even like I played that Horizon Forbidden West, which is a huge PS5 game, and the graphics are insane, but it's the same random encounters, like 3 or 4 recycled over and over and over again. Whereas Red Dead, I'm still finding new ones now.
Yeah.
Like that,
no, I completely agree with you.
and it's not even like they're random, but they're like region specific. You go to the Driscoll area, or you go to the just a different gang members area, and like the Nightfall are insane, but it's all totally different. They have different tactics, and then not even just the gangs, but you bump into a random person, he gets killed by his horse, or it's so good, love it.
I agree with you. I think that's why it probably takes 10 years to make, because it's so big, and you like you said, I do love the random encounters. I do love it, and before you ask, I never help the guy back to the hospital, help him back to the doctors.
Okay, what about
the guy?
Do you give him a health potion? Do you shoot him in the head? What do you think? Do you just leave
I think we've done videos on the outcomes I've done already. If you leave him long enough, he's going to die anyway. There is one where I have with the bear when he has his foot in the bear trap. Yeah. So I'll get it out, and then he'll be really nice, and I get a good honour, and then I'll shoot him.
Jesus.
There's no point. One step forward, four back.
Yeah.
I just feel you're absolutely spot on about missions, like the encounters and stuff. You're thinking around, obviously like the poison mission, with the people like with the guys who were drinking all that drink, for that guy who was trying to sell the land, to sort of the time traveller, to loads of different missions, to dinosaur bones. There's loads of random different things in it, which is just so varied. I think that's playing it, coming from a non-Red Dead background to playing it. I think it's just continuous. It's still every day when we play it, we still find different encounters, still find a variant of missions or people. For example, I met a random encounter the other night, having a chat with a guy talking about Red Harlow, and I know you've seen it before. I know for me it was really wow. Okay, and you sit next to a campfire, a guy talking about Red Harlow. For me, it was a bit like wow, never seen that.
Yeah.
I think it's just it just continually builds, and there's so much. For me, I just think if I really critique the game, I think New Austin was such a disappointment. I think if I could, you mentioned earlier around things you weren't happy. I think New Austin has to be number one. There's nothing there. It's just so underwhelming.
It just feels like it was only placed there as a placeholder for the Red Dead Redemption 1 add-on, and they just decided not to do it. That's all it feels like. It was either that or they did it just so to make the map bigger for online. But it's a shame.
Because I haven't played as much online, I can't comment on whether it goes to New Austin missions and stuff. So, but I think even when I was starting out in online, it was relatively, to Lemoore and places like that, it was a lot of it around there. That's just the start, but it's so underutilized. I've spent a lot of time with John recently in New Austin, and it's a lot of just cacti running around. Yeah, and there's some really strange things there that I wouldn't have seen, and it's like a random hearse and finding really random stuff that you've just got to look.
Yeah.
If you're going up to Valentine, you go through the woods, you'll see random stuff, you'll see weird things. It's just underutilized. It's massive. It's just disappointing.
That's the thing. When you first go there in the story, it shocked me that the amount of nostalgia that hit me. Just going back there after like 10 years, it was amazing, and it looks so beautiful, like all of Red Dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you say, it's just underdeveloped, isn't it?
Even going to Mexico, which is similar. When you get into Mexico, it reminds me of Austin. There's nothing there. There's areas when you go into Mexico, there's nothing there, and you think this is exactly the same as New Austin, just running around.
The thing of in Red Dead 1, Mexico was such a weird sidestep, but it had its own atmosphere. The music was amazing going to Mexico, and the characters you meet there, and you get all Civil War. Again, as you showed, they've put a lot of work into for Mexico, and yet they don't even let you officially get there. You have to glitch your way there. It's so strange.
Yeah, I know we've spoken about a lot of stuff, but even come back to Guarma, like, I know that's probably your most hated chapter, but you think of how much underutilized that was. You go to, I know that obviously everyone's seen the glitch and how it should be. There's like a glitch in GTA 5 that you can see the actual map. On the map, there's stuff like sharks and killer spiders, and I know they may well have run out of time, and they probably spent a lot of time developing it anyway. But there was so much more you could obviously not be able to return, which is frustrating. I was officially unable to return.
Yeah. I don't mind that so much. I mean, I feel that was a response to the feedback from Red Dead Redemption 1, where a lot of people criticised the Mexico section, that it was very disconnected and it didn't really feed the main plot, even though it did. But people were like, what is this? But I think they maybe over course corrected a bit. Instead of a 10-hour escapade into Mexico, it was just a 1-hour dive into this jungle. But I really enjoy it. I know you did. I mean, it's just chaos. Which is your thing. Well,
I like to have one arm. I like him. He's nice.
Yeah, he's cool.
Like you said, it's just chaos there. And unless you, obviously, when you glitch back there, you can get there and you can see it and you can review it all. And it's the attention to detail. But you can free roam there. Obviously, you don't have to go to missions when you start to speak to Micah and Dutch. You don't have to go around there. But it feels there's so much more they could have done there. And I think if we're talking about frustrations, the biggest frustration for me, and I think that in Blackwater, when you're with John, just towards the harbour, there's a ferry port. Okay, so in Red Dead 1, everyone's seen, who's ever played Red Dead 1, the intro is you come on the ferry and you walk onto that little port, that little sort of that harbour. That is in Red Dead 2, that little harbour, and you can't catch a ferry. And I know it's been discussed before that ferries were available or ferries were supposed to be in there. That's where that ferry should be. There should be a ferry in there. They should be able to go to Guam or go to Mexico. That should be there.
I've never thought of that before.
That's where it started.
It's
It's the opening scene. And
I never really thought, I wish I was in a ferry with the two. I never really thought of that.
I think they're available. They're around, aren't they? It's going to be the same time. So Red Dead, what's the variance between Red Dead 1 and Red Dead 2? What's the time? What's the years? It can't be much, can it?
Well, I think, in the credits of Red Dead 2, you see the Pinkertons already scoping out John. I think it's only a few months later.
So, there are, the times are going to be different. And I know, obviously, looking at other videos, there's so much stuff online and so much stuff on Reddit. You're looking for different stuff. People mentioning around the ferry and the ferry port, and originally there was supposed to be one. It would just make sense. And that port is there, even for that additional vehicle to say, let's go to Guam. You just open up a little bit more.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get an update. I think we've discussed that enough time. We're not getting one. We're never getting one. We're just going to get Red Dead 1 and HD, which we've already got.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think on that, we'll probably bring this one to a close now, guys. So thanks everyone for listening. I think if you've made this far, thank you all. This will be our number 1, so we are going to be updating every week. So I know we've said it already. So thank you for tuning in. So it'll be every Friday. We're going to upload it to a number of different sources. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be on TikTok. It will be on Spotify and all the other main places on Amazon Music and stuff. So it will be on all of them. So just keep posted. Just comment and just give any more suggestions. If you feel there's something you want to cover or something you want to talk through, just let us know. Get in contact with us. And that's it, guys. Speak to you soon.
Cheers.